All right, welcome to the Entrepreneur Insider Secrets podcast. Today we're going to be talking about list building strategies that actually work for coaches and creators. So, one of the things, as we know, one of the things that's super important is having your own email list, right? We've all got our stories. Every one of us has our stories of we built up a good platform on something on social media, and all of a sudden, one day here we are, we're out there, we're working our platform, we're reaching people, and one day our account gets shut down, or one day we're no longer allowed to run ads, or one day the account's just throttled and we can't get any reach anymore, or they change the algorithms on the platform, so this big page that you had built up is no longer getting any views. No one's looking at it anymore. And so it becomes this struggle, right? Is the thing that you have to realize is that when you're on a social media platform, the audience that you're building isn't yours. The audience that you're building belongs to the social media company. It's something that you always need to keep in mind, because it's very, very important, because that's the truth. The reason they're letting you do all this for free, the reason they're not charging anything to be on the platform, to be able to do all these things, is because they're allowing you to build their platform. They're allowing you to do things that make their platform go. And then they can charge advertising rates for people to advertise there, because the audience has been drawn to that platform. And there's a win-win on a lot of this. You can be able to go on and do a lot of things. You can be able to build a business. You can get a lot of posts. You can get a lot of things out there. But the challenge that you always run into is you're not in control of the game. They can go out and they can change the terms. They can decide, hey, you know what? We're not going to play that way anymore. And we hear all these stories on all these different things with Google SEO, with things on Facebook, on Instagram, all YouTube, all these different stories, so all of us who have been doing this for a while have our own version of the story. Something that happened to us where we were chugging along, everything's going great, and all of a sudden, bam, we hit a wall. And there was nothing we could do. We didn't necessarily do anything wrong. There was no warning. They just decided to change the game. And they decided to shut things down, or they decided to put a big fork in the road. And now all of a sudden we're screwed, because everything that we've built is basically useless, because it's no longer operating well, because they're the ones controlling the game, not us, which is maddening, which is completely frustrating. But it also is a big lesson for all of us. And that lesson is that your email list is what you need to be driving people towards. When you're on social media, you need to be driving people towards your email list, because that is the key. That is the thing that you're going to be needing to have done. You're going to need to have that email list, because when you have people on your email list, you're no longer dependent upon the social media platform to communicate. You now have some control. You now have a list that's yours, that you can send emails to, that you can follow up with, that you can communicate with, that doesn't involve somebody changing the rules on you, somebody pulling the rug out from underneath you, and all of a sudden you're screwed. When you have a list, when you own your own email list, you have the ability to email your list. You have ability to market to your list anytime you want. So in today's episode, what I want to talk about are some strategies for how do you do this? What's a good way of building an email list? What's a good way of going about this so that you can actually be successful in this area, so you can have some more control over your business? Because again, I'm just telling you, I was in this mastermind group a few years ago, and we were all warned, because everybody at that time was running Facebook ads over and over and over and over again. And we were all doing it because it worked. It was like easy money. We were running ads, making money. It was just like a printing machine in a lot of ways. And everybody was doing it. Everybody was hooked on it. And the guys that we were in the mastermind who ran that mastermind told us, said, you got to be careful. You can't have all your ducks sitting in one spot because eventually it's going to burn you. And it did. It did. They all of a sudden, that platform went out and started shutting down ad accounts like it was a contest. They were just shutting down one after another, and mine got hit too. And I was, just another one of the people who was caught in the crossfire. And nothing was wrong. Never got a single warning. Never received any notification that anything was wrong. It was just gone. And they wouldn't help you. They wouldn't answer any questions. They wouldn't work with you. You're just shut out. And it was over and it was done. So these are things you have to think about. But having the people on the email list means we're not dead. Having people that you can email and contact means you're still going to survive. You're still going to make this work because you're no longer, you have a second platform. You have a second platform that you control. And it's not all dependent on what they're going to do to you. So how do we go about doing this? First thing we got to do is we got to create something, a lead magnet that our audience wants. And the thing that we have to keep in mind when we're creating lead magnets is we want our lead magnet to be highly, highly specific. We want this lead magnet to be very, very niched down. We don't want a general lead magnet. We don't want something that is very generic that people are going to be looking at and going, well, I already know that, or that's very basic, or that's something that I can just Google and get the answer for. No, you want to go something that speaks directly to your ideal client. And again, you have to know who your ideal client is first. So this is why it's really important to know and understand very, very clearly who are those people that you're trying to reach, who are the people that you're trying to help. And as a result, once you're really clear on that, you know where they're stuck. You know where they need help. You know the pain points where they're sitting there going, I don't know what to do about this. I don't know what to do about that. And as a result, they need help right here. And so you could create something, a free guide, a free ebook, something that's a short video series, something of value, something that you could put together that's going to help them solve this problem, that's going to help them solve this issue that they have. And this is going to be something, it could be a checklist, it could be a quiz, it could be a template, a guide, whatever makes sense for your audience, something that's going to help them and solve that immediate problem. And it needs to be hyper specific, because this is something that they can't just Google and get a generic answer for. This is something that this specific type of person, this person who's going through this situation, they are specifically struggling with this. And when you put that out there, I have a lead magnet, I have a free guide that you can download that addresses this. They're going to be going, what? That's amazing. That is simply completely amazing, because that is exactly what I need. And they're going to be thrilled, and they're happily put their name and email in because they want that. They want that resource. They want that ability to have that, and you're speaking directly to them. I mean, when you put that out there, they're overjoyed because they're feeling like you get them. You know exactly what's going on in their life. You know what they need, and you've spoken directly to their situation. And when you do that, you send it to them. You send them something that's easy to consume. You don't want your lead magnet to be 50 pages long. Don't do that. It's too much. You want something that's just a few pages, something that they can easily read through. It's formatted in a way so that it's not just this massive text block that they have a trouble reading. I've seen people produce books that way with next to no margin. And I'm just like, what are you doing? There's no margin in the book. How can I read this? You need to have good spacing. You have to put some pictures in it. You need to design it in such a way that it has some attractiveness to it, that it has some appeal so that you can flow through it. It's easy to get through. It's easy to, consume, and you're looking at it and you easily go through it and you're looking at it. And then you offer at the end a next step. Okay, hey, if you would like to know more about this, here's your next step. Apply to our program. or buy this other course, or you can purchase this, or you can purchase that. There's all these things that you have now that you can sit here and you can do as a next step, and you're inviting them to keep coming, but and make sure that next step aligns. Make sure that next step is in alignment with what you're doing. You want it to be, something that says, yes, I do this, and that answers that question. That's amazing. I'm so excited. I'm so grateful that you were able to help me with that. And now, would you like to take the next step? The next thing you need to do is this. Would you like help with that as well? And if you do it well and you align this well, they're going to be saying, well, heck yeah, I want to do that. That's amazing. That's exactly what I need to do. That is exactly the next thing I need help with. And you're going to get people to say yes. You're going to get people to take the next step and reach out to you and inquire about working with you, inquire about buying your course, or buying your paid ebook, or whatever it may be that you're doing. And so, you want to align these things with your business so it makes perfect sense. You're walking people down a pathway. You're walking them down this journey of, here, I know this is a problem. And again, the problems that you want to address in your freebie, in your lead magnet, are the problems that they're facing today. You want to solve a level 1 problem. So it's not like, that, because you're more experienced in this area, you're going to need to solve this and this and this. But you also know that they're not thinking about those things right now. That's not on their mind. What's on their mind is problem number 1. So address problem number 1. And then your next step can helping them solve problem number 2. Don't focus on things that are too far down the path. Focus on this thing that's going on in their mind today. Help them deal with that. Help them solve that. Help them work through that. And when you put that out there, they're going to be extremely grateful. So you've created this little lead magnet, and I'm just also going to give you a word of advice. In the world that we live in, don't try and create all this yourself. Don't sit here and try and go, oh, hey, I need to work really hard. I need to come up with the idea. I need to write it all out. I need to design it all and spend hours upon hours putting all this together. It's not necessary. Use AI. Use AI to create a lead magnet for you in minutes. You can have it all written and created. I got on the other day and I was just cranking out content, and I cranked out like 19 lead magnets in a matter of just a few hours. I had 19 of them all written, created for, all of it in. Now I just got to put them into Canva, into the design, and they're done. And all of them were written, all the content was created, all this stuff was pulled together, all the research was done, and by using ChatGPT instead of making this into oh my goodness, I have to sit here and I have to now come up with an outline. I have to structure all my thoughts. I have to figure out what I'm going to write. No, use the AI to help you figure this stuff out. Use it to help you lay it all out. And once you get good at using the AI, it's going to make this thing go 100 times faster for you. You're going to be able to crank out lead magnets in very, very short order. And if you don't know the subject matter, if you don't know the topic that you should be creating the lead magnet for, use ChatGPT to help you solve it. Sit down and just say, hey, here's what my audience is, and specifically go through a bunch of characteristics and attributes of your ideal audience and tell it, and I need to create a lead magnet for them. Give me some ideas, give me some insight, give me some topics that I could do it for, and then go through it and then find the one that you think, that would be amazing. That would be great. That'd be perfect. Exactly what my audience would need. Great. Can you create an ebook for me on that? Can you create a guide for me on that? That would be perfect. And all of a sudden you have the structure. Now you just need to edit it and then put it into a format that looks attractive. So once you have all that in place, now we need to flip back to, we need to create a simple page. We need to create a little page where people can put their name and email in to be able to go on your email list, so they can get the guide or the freebie, the lead magnet, and you can get their contact information so that you can email them in the future. So when you do this, we want to keep it simple. These pages that encourage people to opt in are not meant to be complicated. This is not meant to be complex. This is meant to be simple, straightforward. Keep it a minimal design, minimalistic type design. This doesn't need to be, people aren't here to, people are here because they're interested in solving a problem, not because they want to see your graphic design skills. That's not why they're here. They're here because they need help with that problem. And so just make it simple. Have a paragraph or two at the top, short and sweet, talking about the problem, talking about how you can help them solve it, talk about why this is important to do, and then have 3 to 5 bullet points with a short description or short benefit statements about what this lead magnet will do for them. And when you're doing the bullet points, 2 things that you always have to include in there. Your headline needs to be let's go back. The headline needs to be very benefit focused. You need to state in that headline exactly what this lead magnet will do for them, how it will help them, what difference will it make for them, how will it solve their problem, how will it make life better for them. Once you have that, once you have all that in place, great. Now they understand why they should keep reading. You read the first couple paragraphs that talk about the problem, how you can solve it, and then you get to the bullet points, and those bullet points need to do 2 things. They need to outline specific benefits of what your lead magnet will do. It does this for you, it'll do that for you, it'll do this for you, do that for you. So that's number 1. Your bullet points need to be very, very benefit focused and not feature focused. Don't tell them what it is, tell them what it will do. Don't tell them it does this. We have a section on this. We have a section. No, what does that section do for them? How does it benefit them? How does it make a difference in their lives? They don't care how you've laid it out. They don't care what all, what all the pieces are. They care, what will it do for me? Is this worth my time to do this? As a result, they're going to then see, oh, this is worth my time. The second aspect of it is you need to build curiosity. So you show them the benefit, but the benefit can't be just so simplistic that they go, well, I already know how to do that. I already know what that is. No, there has to be curiosity. There has to be something in there. Well, maybe you know something I don't know. Maybe you have answers that I don't have. I better get this thing because I need to know, you probably know some things that I don't know, and I better get it so that I can learn what you know. I need to know the pieces that I'm missing. I need to know the information that I do not yet understand. And so as a result, you're going to get it. So the strong benefit and the strong curiosity need to be partnered together in your headline and in your bullet points. And then if you want to create a little image of it, that's up to you. You can create a simple little image of like the screen of the front page or so and put that on there. And then you just need to have the opt-in form where they put their name and email and hit submit, and they add them to your email list, and you send them an email with the lead magnet. That's as simple as it needs to be. It doesn't need to be complicated. Short, sweet, so that they can read it, understand it, say, yep, this is what I get from this. And that's it. That's all I need to know. I don't need to have all this extra fluff around it. So then what you want to do is you want to promote it on social media. You want to start talking about it on your interviews, on your podcasts, on your different things. You want to go and you want to start putting things out there. You want to start doing these things in such a way that people are going to start checking it out. They're going to, you can start putting posts out. You can start doing different things to promote it, to get people on your email list. So when you're on social media, you're just not on it. You're on it, driving them to your list. So that when and if the day comes where that social media platform turns sour, you haven't lost everything. You now have another way of communicating with them. You've gotten people who want to be on your list, who want to be hearing from you. And as a result, if the rules change on the platform, you're still okay. You still have them as a contact. You can still reach out to them. You can still communicate with them. And some of this as well, when you do these things, you need to be thinking and understanding that we want to put out a quality lead magnet that's going to meet the right kind of people. A lot of times there's a lot of things, a lot of gimmicky things people could do, a lot of garbage things that people can do to get people to be on your email list or to grow, your podcast followers or do all these things. And it's you're getting a lot of garbage is what you're getting. You're getting a lot of people. And I've seen this, like some people go out and they will get a lot of likes on a page. Well, they'll run a short little ad to some third world country where the traffic is abundantly cheap and you can get mountains of likes and comments on your posts to make it look like, oh, this thing's trending. And yet you've got no one that's actually a good prospect. None of those people are actually good prospects for what you're doing. The same thing needs to apply for your lead magnet. You don't want just people on your list, because if you do this, hey, we used to see this all the time, do a big promotion and give away a free iPad and you'll get mountains of people on your list. Well, guess what? You're not getting people on your list that want to be on your list. You're getting people on your list who want a free iPad. That was a thing, years ago when iPads were a huge deal. I can get people on your list, great, but they don't want to be on my list because they want to hear from me. They want to be on my list because they want free stuff. And I'm not giving away a free iPad every day. That's not how we're doing this. This is not the way that we're going to do this. I want people on the list because they actually want to be on the list, because they're interested in learning more about what we do. They're interested in becoming potentially a customer somewhere down the road. And all of this becomes very important. So as we're building our lead magnets, we need to keep all of that in mind. We need to be thinking about all those types of things. Well, who am I? Not only am I driving traffic, am I pulling people onto my list? Am I pulling them on the list for the right reasons? Am I pulling people on the list in a way that they're actually coming because they want to know more, because they want to read what I'm writing, because they want to find out if I can help them? Because if you do that, now you have a list that's powerful. Now you have a list that's full of potential clients. Now you have a list of people who are already leaning in to learn more about what it is that you do, not a bunch of people who just wanted to be there to get free stuff. So that is very, very important. Now, once you get the people on your email list, it's also important that you deliver consistent value after they opt in. It's one thing to build the list, to get a bunch of people on the list, get them there. But now we have to start building the relationship with them on the email list. We have to start putting emails out. We want to send out communication that's going to be interesting to them, things that they're going to want to read, things that they're going to want to learn about, things that they're saying, yeah, this is fascinating. This is interesting. I want to learn more about this. I want to read these emails because they're very interesting to me, because they're very useful to me. And this is stuff that's very, very helpful to me. And I want to learn it. I look forward to seeing their emails. I look forward to seeing their stuff. And, so you want to send them a email series after they opt in. Don't just send them an initial email that says, here's your lead magnet. Okay, bye. No, automatically build in a series of a few emails, 3 to 5. Have 3 to 5 emails already written that as soon as they opt in for that lead magnet, they're automatically getting 3 to 4, 5 emails. They're automatically going to get them. They're already pre-written. It's already built in. Your email account, your autoresponder will automatically send, your CRM will automatically send all of this out on its own. You don't need to do it. You create it once, you build it, it's there, they download it, and now they're getting nurtured and they're getting communication. They're getting different things that they can use without you having to write any new content. They're always going to get something there. And then you can put them on a general list where you send out a broadcast email to people, where you start communicating with them, where you're starting to do things that are going to drive them to continue to stay engaged with you. They're going to want to learn more about you. They're going to find out about what you're doing next and how they can potentially become part of it. So this is all part of it. You get people on your list, you now have some control over your future. You have control over what's happening with you. This is why it's so important, because the social media platforms are owned by them, not us. And it's great that we're allowed to use it. It's great that we're able to get on here and do the things that we do. It's very, very critical, very, very important that we have this opportunity, because it is an incredible opportunity. But we can't lose sight of the rules of the game. We don't own it. They do. So if they decide they want to take a hard left turn, we don't have a choice. And if we get kicked off the wagon as a part of this turn, well, it sucks, but we don't have any ability to change anything. You can yell and scream all you want, but it ain't going to change. It is what it is, which is why we need to have people on a platform that we can control. We need to have people on a list that we can communicate with. So here's some of the things just to recap a little bit. You need to offer a powerful, specific lead magnet, something that your audience is very much interested in that's going to be highly specific to their needs. You need to have a focused and clean landing page, an opt-in page where people can put their name and email in to be able to get the information. And then you need to follow up with consistent value. You need to follow up with consistent things that people are going to be saying, yes, this is important to me. I want to keep reading. I want to keep learning. I want to keep doing these things because this is important. This is valuable, and I want to keep doing it. And then when you do that, you're going to be able to, continue to grow your list. You're going to be able to not just go online. You're going to be able to go online for a purpose. You're going to direct them to the things that you can use to get people on your list, to get people to grow and to start building a list of prospects that want to do work with you. So I hope you found this valuable. Otherwise, that's all I got for you today. Have an amazing day. Check out designlaunchgrow.com because we would love to help you build your business. Check it out. Check out all the things that we can do for you and maybe fill out an application because we would love to be able to take some time to help you build your business. So that's it for today, and I will talk to you again in the next episode.